Hello, this is Miss Andre, and this is not another homeschool vlog. I have literally had an on-again, off-again relationship with YouTube for as long as I can remember, since pretty much within a year after YouTube became a thing. And I have so many regrets about the beginning of my journey because I grew pretty quickly and had a thriving community in the first year or so, but they weren't paying. And so when my blogging jobs took off and I was blogging for several websites, I decided I was going to do what paid me in that moment. And so YouTube fell way to the back burner, and I did it intermittently at best. One big problem I had during that time was just overall shyness. I remember doing a video about public schools way back then, and someone at my children's homeschool co-op walked up to me the next week and wanted to discuss that topic with me because they had watched my video. And honestly, that just kind of freaked me out for someone to want to discuss something, a conversation that I hadn't had specifically with them, but that I had had to the greater world. And so that gave me some pause about putting my thoughts out on the internet. Another thing that slowed me down greatly was racism. This morning I want to talk about the obvious. The fact that I'm Black and it's rare to run across an African American or Black homeschooler. I maybe know about 5 or 6 myself, or I know dozens of other homeschoolers. And I guess I came across this subject because I just came across an article written the 18th of this month, about a week ago or so, that says a growing movement, Black homeschooling. More African American parents are educating their kids at home. Where if someone disagreed with what I said, they didn't say, I disagree with you, or you're an idiot, you're stupid. They didn't say any of those normal things that people say when they disagree with you online. No, they chose to call me monkeys, and they chose to say things about my Black children. And I've talked about that on this channel before, but that was just not cool at all. Just not cool. And once again, I was being paid. I forget what the company was called before. It was called Yahoo Publishing, whatever. But before, I was working for Yahoo. But they were paying me like how YouTube pays you. I write an article, I submit it. They pay me anywhere between $10 to $15, sometimes a little bit more, for that article that took me 20 minutes to write. And then for every 1,000 views, I was getting another $2. And so after doing that for about a year, I was getting $1,000 to $2,000 a month. That didn't, even if I didn't write a new article, that's what I was getting based on commission of the things I had previously written. So my kids were middle and high school, and I had a decent income. I didn't have to leave home to do it, and all was good with the world. And right as my youngest child got close to graduation, Google started playing with algorithms. And what they did was they pushed anything written by the Yahoo company I worked for, but everything written by them, they pushed that all the way down because Google saw them as competition. And honestly, we were dominating. It was going very well. And so just like that, one month I made $2,000 in commission, the next month I made $20 in commission. And so what Yahoo did at that point was they bought us out. They sent us all a check for a couple of $1,000 and would be gone, take your writing back, resubmit it elsewhere, which never really happened because immediately people from foreign countries came and swooped down and scrubbed all our writing and submitted it on their websites. And so it was useless to use. At best, it could only be remixed. I was also writing for AOL. I was writing for families.com. I was ghostwriting for Fun Times Guy, and I was ghostwriting for a few other homeschool bloggers. And so just in that year that my daughter finished homeschooling, that business just died. And the timing was good for me because my husband got a job in Manhattan right about that time. and it was paying really well. It was the difference in his previous salary and that one was kind of what I was making, so I just held out for a while and spent more time in doing community theater, costuming, learning that craft, joining the board, and being really immersed in community theater, which I kind of love. And all that time, I'd go on YouTube, I'd make 4 or 5 videos, and I'd wander back away. I was monetized real early, but when I went back in 2019, 2020, I found out my monetization was gone because of that whole deal. I can't remember the name of the brother right now, the guy who just boxed with Mike Tyson, the guy who just beat Mike Tyson. Him and his brother had caused such a stir on YouTube that YouTube shut off everyone's monetization and made you re-earn it. And so I re-earned it during 2021, but I never really got very far. And while I've been running a homeschool program and while I've homeschooled my kids, honestly, you can only really talk about homeschooling so much. When something new comes up, some new news, for instance, the president-elect is promising that he'll give 10 grand to each homeschooler. We'll see how that works. When things like that happen, then that's news. That's something to be discussed. But generally, there's just not a whole lot to discuss in that area. So here I am, still running a homeschool program, still looking to spend more time back in theater. And I have a theater program in my homeschool program, but still looking to spend more time in theater because it really feeds my soul. I love short projects, and theater is typically, every show is typically a 2-month project, right? So I love that. And my daughter is a theater costumer and actress. Her good friends who also teach for me are theater actresses, and that's what I love the most. That's what my soul is asking for right now, because I've had my head down in this grind for 5 years because I wanted to get the curriculum written. And so it's all written. Now it's just all got to be fine-tuned and laid out. But I'm just ready to get out of the grind and get back to living my life a little bit more joyfully and a little bit more freely. And then, so if I'm happier, if my spirit is lighter, when I'm dealing with my students, I'm giving them the best version of me, right? I'm giving my husband the best version of me. I'm giving my adult children, and maybe one day before I die, grandchildren, the best version of me. And honestly, I owe it to myself to give me the best version of me, just to have some fun, enjoy life. So that's all. I'm not making any promises, but I desire to do some kind of Vlogmas. But once again, I'm really bogged down with work. So we'll see how it goes. I'll at least be able to give you something every weekend, right? If not more often. Till next time.